That was a quality save at the end. Although it was hit literally plumb out.
No.
Like, you made yourself as small as possible.
No, because it was coming out of the thing. No, but what you got to think is, I saved it.
Yeah.
Goalkeeping for dummies. Make yourself as small as possible.
And hope for striking.
Stage one.
It works.
Good morning, welcome back. It is Sunday, I believe the 6th of March. The Hawks are playing Wyvern today. Now, this has got a little bit of context because we originally wanted to play at Pavilion, being in Horton Heath. Wyvern, or yeah, I think they're just called Wyvern Youth or something, actually have that ground, and that's why we weren't allowed on there. So I'm not saying it's a rivalry, but they are our neighbours. Not so much noisy, but we want to smash them out of the cup. It's the quarter-final as well, which means if we win this, we're on to a semis, only 2 games left, and we could actually be taking some silverware. So, up the Hawks, and up the bloody Hawks. But a little bit more flavour today, because we have to win.
That's right.
Good. Mate. Hello mate, you alright? Oh, this camera's on the wonk. So they call me the tripod for nothing.
Who we playing against him?
What a treat.
It's not bad.
I hope so. Retiring if not.
Right. Can you guys hurry up? Because I really want to find as many shots as I fucking can before someone actually shoots me for real.
Give us a little bit of context then, Joel. Your brother's gone off scared because he's seen you're in goal. What are you saying about that?
Well, because he knows he's never scored against me in a proper match setting. So now he's worried.
And you're going to put in a big performance?
No. 5 shots are going to go in.
That's quality hands. What are you on about? Here he is, man of the match today with a hat-trick. That's what they've written in the papers already.
Let them ride. I thought I was paying £10 extra.
Charlie, actually go get your phone and pay, come on.
Yeah, come on mate.
4 weeks now, I think.
4 weeks?
I don't
Since
care.
I put my life on the line.
Go and get it. Go on.
Come on.
I haven't got 12 points.
Otherwise,
Fuck off.
8 o'clock in the morning. I'm a bit run down anyway.
You out?
And we went to Villa Park yesterday. Enough said.
Bloody hell, you sound rough as arse. What do you make of this mob stealing our home ground?
We're here to just prove our point, win it back for next season.
We're going to do him in.
This is personal, mate. You know, you don't let someone walk on your turf, and then it just so happens that we get them in the cup.
In the quarterfinals as well.
Quarterfinals, you know, we're just going to stamp our territory, really. And take back what's ours.
He was last active on WhatsApp at R4.
Last night while sinking Sambucas, you assured me you'd be here.
No, I'll definitely be there, mate. I'll definitely be there.
I know most of them.
Yeah.
They were crap last
So they're losers then?
Yeah. Crap last year, but they're a lot better this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, just, you know, Jacko's always liable for a hat-trick, so if he scores a hat-trick, we'll probably win, won't we?
Captain's last one here.
Hamish is over there.
Well, he's not captain.
Set an alarm.
You didn't set an alarm. Where have you been? Litton Tree. Yeah, that is a good warm-up, Mark. Was Hamish out with you?
He's over there, yeah.
Was he out at Litton Tree? Oh no.
Ever again.
Yeah.
I believe it's called the station.
Whatever it is, it's
And you've been out as well, have you, Hamish?
Oh no.
And are you hungover? You hungover? Oh.
This one, little jog, just give us the right turn.
Yeah, I'll go in there.
Last but no means least.
Big man.
Shit some weight. I want to know what went through your mind.
Slim chickens wasn't as good as we thought it was.
So you got to get the 10.
Yeah. Didn't have sweet chili as well.
It didn't have sweet chili.
15 dipping sauces. They didn't have on it.
15 dipping sauces and they're all crap.
Yeah.
So, things to touch on. After last time when we played South Coast, we've got to be showing this other team a little bit more respect this week. You know, we might think we're going to beat them, but we can't just assume we've won before we get on the field. We can't take anything for granted, so I want everyone to be out from the get-go. We're playing a 4-4-2. What we learned from that game is how important our wingers are to that in terms of getting up and down. We've got to make sure we're not ending up playing a 4-2-4 or a 4-3-3 if we've only got one come back. That's so important that we cover our right back and left back. Brad's not turning up, so Matt, you're going to go right back. Were you, George, in right back? Yeah, so you'll go on to right mid. But yeah, we just need to be at it from the go. I mean, they've been bloody on a full intensity warm-up for the last 40 minutes, so it means they should burn out in the second half, but definitely in the first half, bloody hell. Like, let's just make sure we settle into the game. Nothing silly. Let's let the ball do the work for us early in the first half. Again, same thing, let's push them up the pitch. That means the back line moves right up. Just all as a team, press them, and then start knocking the ball off the pitch, and we'll pick them off from there. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's a massive pitch as well.
Oh,
So
God.
big.
What have you done?
Fucking hell.
Oh,
Jesus.
Can we get it out?
Yeah, let's.
what have you done? We seem to be playing once every 3 weeks at the moment, but I don't think the lads mind that too much. Sam Hennon has decided that he wanted to play out on pitch at training despite a few people telling him not to, which meant he's pulled a muscle on his back, so Joel Parker goes in between the sticks. Our back line consists of Harry Barrett and Mark Richards in the centre, with Matt Willits on the right and Hamish Simmons on the left. Across midfield, we've got Ben Whittam and Dan Loughton in the centre holding up the midfield, George Leahy in left mid and Charlie Barrett in right mid. Up top, we go Jack Orme and Luke Dawkins. Now, we had a few players on the bench that didn't show up because of the races. To name and shame, that's Brad Thomas, so we were left a little bit short. And given that Caelan's got a hobby of constantly decorating his house, he also wasn't available, which meant our only sub on the day that turned up was Adam Baker. Can't really blame them when the manager doesn't bother turning up though, can you? Welcome back to another week of Do or Die Horton Hawks. Hawks are actually playing Wyvern at Lapstone playing fields. This is the hallowed turf where we thought we might be playing this season, but unfortunately the council have some sort of loyalty scheme going on with Wyvern, so we're out to prove a point that we should be the ones gracing this turf with our beautiful silky yellow football. Wyvern have settled well into this game nice and early on, and a little bit of a battle going on in midfield, which Harry Barrett wins and manages to slot through Luke Dawkins. Got a little bit of time, but no one in the box supporting him. Jack Orme comes forward, nips past the defender, makes himself a yard, and it's a relatively routine save for the goalie.
Face up the lad!
Wyvern with a throw down this right side, and it's a shocking throw, and surely got to be a foul throw, and the ref gives it, although he's a little bit delayed given that. Wyvern's midfielder picked up the ball and he's gallivanting forwards. Managed to play a decent ball over the top, and it looks like the Hawks are in a bit of trouble. Joel Parker, the substitute goalie, coming off his line, and that is what the modern keeper needs to do. Bit of a sweeper keeper. Managed to do the job, and this fella's hoofed the ball off the pitch when it was already gone off the pitch, hoofed it into the hedge, so no real need for that. Hawks coming forward again. Jacko controls it. Just needs to pick his head up. He's got plenty of support out wide, and manages to dink the ball over to Matt Willits, who's... Can he beat a man? He's kicked into him, and he's kicked into him, and he's kicked into him, and somehow he's got through. He's got a chance at goal and blast that over. Maybe was a little bit surprised to get through on goal there. Quick throw in from the Hawks. Charlie Barrett controls it well. Manages to pick out Hamish Simmons, who knocks the ball forward to Jack's feet. It's a lovely touch. Knocks around the corner for Luke, who returns the favour to Jacko. It's well cleared by the Wyvern player, but only as far as George, and yeah, it's unfortunate. He knocks out a couple of yards wide. Wyvern with a big goal kick, but it's not made it too far. Harry Barrett gets up and wins that well. It's bouncing around in the middle. Dan Loughton goes for that. Charlie manages to beat his man, picks up the loose ball, and he's in on goal here. It's a decent finish, but the keeper spreads himself well. Luke with another rebound. It's not quite going in, and Wyvern just about get it clear. Wyvern pick up the ball deep in their own half and knock it forward to their number 7, who looks like he's got a bit of pace, and he burns Matt Willits up, who in turn tries to jump on his back and get a piggyback ride, but he's not quite managing to hold on to him there. Seems the ref's actually given a yellow for the piggyback ride, but we're just going to have to move on from that one. Bit soft. Wyvern player here with some decent feet managed to pick out his number 9, who absolutely skins Mark Richards, and Mark now trying to get a hold of him, and that player's booted the ball at Mark. Doesn't seem best happy. I think it might have been an accident, but Mark now appears to be on his way to the referee, and he's got his book out again by the looks of things. Horton Hawks are single-handedly holding up the FA system with all the fines we get. Ref and linesman having a bit of a disagreement, but all in the name of a good game. Wyvern with a chance to come forward from the throw, managed to whip it across and not dealt with very well by the Hawks, and Dan Loughton just about puts it behind the goal for a first corner of the game, I believe. Wyvern going to take this corner now. It's a decent ball into the box, pretty high and lofty. Wynn's holding it up, well won, and not really causing Joel any problems because he's so good. Wyvern playing some decent football now, really growing into the game. Decent ball round the corner. Player slots it over the goalie. It's gone wide, but it's flagged as offside anyway. Appeared to be maybe half a yard off, but again, they're growing into the game here. Hawks picked up the ball. Maybe they're going to control the game a bit here. A decent ball into Luke from Charlie, and he seems to have this player for pace, and he's got round him. Seems to be a little bit of a pass back going on there, but ref's not interested at all. Horton Hawks pick up the ball, and Matt Williamson's in control of it. Plays a decent ball down the line. Jacko with a lovely first touch. Gets away from his player. It's a tame shot, but it's much better from the Hawks. Hamish with the ball knocks out to Harry Barrett, who sold his man for a hot dog. Now just gallivanting forwards again, and it's a decent ball into Hamish. Just needs to find out a man now in the middle, and straight into the keeper's hands. Another good attack from the Hawks. It's coming. Hamish Simmons does well to control the ball. Ben Whittam going down the line, and that didn't seem like a clear attempt for the ball, so ref's going to call him over here. And there you go again, another booking. He's very card happy, but I guess it keeps the game in check, so no massive complaints from the Hawks. Jack Orme with a free kick. There's a fair bit of wind on this pitch, and it looks like it's curling for the top corner, but it's a decent save. Jack blowing out his cheeks there. You can see that's closer than he might have thought it was going to be. Wyvern with a long free kick over the top. Matt Williams goes up for it. Doesn't deal with it very well. Falls to Hamish Simmons, who again doesn't deal with it very well. Joel comes out, and that's why it's important to have a ginger goalie. High visibility at all times, and manages to take the ball away from the Wyvern player there. Hamish with the ball out in a sort of left back position. Nips it around the corner, but put us in a bit of trouble there. Charlie with a decent lunge in. Knocks it over the top. Luke's through on goal. It seems all he's got to do is take on the goalie, and he does so. He's in on goal. He's got to score here. Slowed it all down quite a lot, and the goalie's in no man's land, but passes it straight into the goalie's hands. It's a bit of a shocker. Hawks again coming forward with the ball. Charlie Barrett with some nice footwork. Scoops into the box, not very well dealt with by Wyvern, and Charlie Barrett with the ball again, turns his man, and seems to be hacked out from behind, but again, ref's not interested. Charlie's not complaining too much. Hamish with a good bit of control here, manages to knock the ball out to Char, who scoops one up really high, and keeper flaps at it, but just about manages to get it under control. Just got a job now to clear the ball, which seems the easiest part. It looks like he's going to drop kick it out, and it's hit his mate in the mullet in the back of the head. It pinball around, but they just about managed to get rid of it. Wyvern coming forward, some good pace being shown on the right side. Mark Richards managing to deal with that okay, and puts it out for a corner. Corner amounts to nothing. Ben Whittam come forward and plays one of the worst balls I've ever seen in my life, and the ref's happy to call it a day there, so that makes it half time.
Everyone can have a go at him for doing that, but like there's a lot of things we need to change, so let's not focus on that. There's a few things. We've had so many chances to knock it over the top of Jack. We can play it long down the wide, but what I find is he's not got enough support when he's up there. I know Luke's up there with him. So I'm proposing that we change from a 4-4-2, and it's really important if we do this properly, we go to a 4-3-3, and when we go to a 4-3-3, our wingers aren't marooning our midfield. It's
a big pitch, and I don't think we're fit enough to be doing that. For the life of us, mate, I think it'll kill us.
Making ourselves more narrow.
No, yeah, I just feel like making the wingers dropping him back and leaving it. I'll end up being wrong because they're not going to be up and down. Number 7 in the middle who's really fit, who's running around us taking the piss. And he'll just do the same with another person.
I think what we need to do is just stop playing football because we're getting beaten in the middle time and time again.
We are trying to overplay it.
And then just
we are trying to overplay it.
Joe Barrett in the centre.
Because you've got the
start
beating.
smashing stuff and then just start clipping it over the top.
You've got the beating of them every time. And we've not tested that at all.
Massive pitch and we're not utilising it. So every time we go on an attack, I see Charlie out wide. He's in acres of space. No one's getting it out. Absolutely no one. It's a massive pitch. We need to either be getting out wide or we need to be clipping it over the top. We've got to make sure with these passes as well, too many times we're playing a pass and it's just not. I'd rather go off the pitch than not reach us because we're playing too short and then we're getting caught in the middle and then we just got our back four and then. So if we're going to hit it, overhit it. None of this delicate stuff. I'd rather it roll 5 yards off the pitch than roll 5 yards short and suddenly we're beautiful.
Well, I think you can count 20 times that somebody's like, it's going like, went up for a throw and somebody's just back. We're trying to play. And you know what? We want to try and get things moving quickly because the pitch is so big. Like Craig said, I'll find myself in space, everyone finds themselves in space.
I do understand that, but we're trying to play out from the back. Fuck me, we're finding ourselves in so much trouble. Loose balls going and they're on an attack. They haven't got much to them, to be quite honest, they don't.
That's going to be where we lose this game. Tactically, boys, get into them. Make
To be fair, we need to intimidate them.
Big half-time team talk from the Hawks and agreement that we need to do better. Ben Whittam wins the ball and knocks it forward to Luke Dawkins. Jack Orme times his run perfectly, knocks it through in between the Mullet and their number 15. Takes it round the goalie, Mullet runs into the goalie. It's now just an open goal, got to finish it, and 15's left helpless. Jack Orme doing what he does best, getting the Hawks in the lead. Up the Jack Orme, up the Hawks. Luke Dawkins plays the ball into Charlie Barrett, who slips it over the top again. Jack Orme looks like he's through. It's a good ball with a bit of backspin on it. Slots it low to the goalie, makes a save. Back into the back of the player, takes it round the player, around the goalie. Slide tackle, can't quite get the ball. Charlie Barrett with an effort, about 5 yards wide. Unlucky. The Hawks showing some real intent though. Hawks controlling the game now. Jack Orme puts his foot on the ball and manages to pick out Charlie Barrett. It's a beautiful ball. Lovely first charge by Charlie Barrett and he's in on goal. And that is an unbelievable goal by the Hawks. That's what we're here for. That's why we should be playing at the Lapstone.
That's
Again, Hawks kind of in casual mode now, relaxing a bit. There's a ball over the top which is causing a little bit of concern. Joel Parker comes out and sweeper goalie deals with it again. Double clearance and that's what he's there for. Again, the Hawks kind of slowing down at this point in the game a little bit, but Hamish manages to dispossess the Wyvern player, knocks it into Charlie Barrett, who's been playing superbly all game, skins his man and gets taken down, and they just cannot deal with him. Hawks have an opportunity to put a free kick in. Charlie Barrett whips it, doesn't get it too far. It's cleared as far as Luke Dawkins, who volleys it, and the player for good measure. And looks like he's down injured, but it's bouncing around a bit, and the ref's got a little bit of reason for concern here. Looks like he's got a really nasty case of being winded. So after quite a long break due to an injury to a Wyvern player, it appears another one's dropped down, and they're struggling, dropping like flies. But playing against the Hawks is not for the faint-hearted. It appears Adam Baker's doing a little bit of extracurricular activity here and doing a paid session with our substitute goalie, Joel Parker. Not played in sticks for 10 years, but done a relatively good job so far. Right, the ball's finally back in play now, and Wyvern player picks it up. He's about 30 yards out, turns and has a shot. Not causing Joel any problems, but that extracurricular surely helped. Chance for the Hawks to put the ball into the box. It's a decent ball in. Goalie clears it off the line, and Jacko wants a goal, but he's having another effort into the box, bobbles round, out for another Hawks corner, and now there's a Hawks player down. This game's been fairly contested, a good battle, and Wyvern still coming forward, trying to find a goal that might get them back in the game. The number 9 takes on a couple of players. Decent tackle by Hamish. He's calling for a penalty, but it seems a bit soft. He's back on his feet straight away. Probably knows that there's not enough of the case there. Jack Orme with another chance to put the ball into the box, and he does so. It's lofty towards Mark's head. Goalkeeper and defender just about managed to deal with that. Ben Whittam plays it into Charlie Barrett, who finds Jack Orme. Lovely little chip over the goalie. Can't quite direct it towards goalway, and Wyvern player gets rid of it. Hawks may be feeling like they might be on their way to the semis. Finally, a little bit of ping ball here. Ben Whittam loses the ball, and there's a ball through the middle of the defence, and Matt Williott's running in custard. So slow. Joel Parker making himself as small as possible, manages to save it, It's all bobbing around. Seems like maybe the chance is gone at this point. It's got a bit too far wide, and yeah, Mark Richards just about managed to deal with that. Jack Orme with another opportunity to put the ball in the box. As he does so, Luke Dawkins looking like he's holding on to L2 with that overhead kick, and cleared by Wyvern. It seems like that's going to be the end of the game, and yeah, I mean, a really good game from the Hawks. It wasn't beautiful at times, but we proved, you know, even with 12 men turning up, our manager turning up at half time, and yeah, one of our players not turning up because he was at the races yesterday, we are still a force to be reckoned with.
Where is Matt? My favourite moment is watching that ball over the top and you running backwards. Gazelle chasing him down. Slow motion. Yeah, that's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, right, okay. It probably wasn't the prettiest of games. It definitely wasn't. But a win. But to be fair, we heeded the advice at half time and we pinked it over the top. and we got 2 goals. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant second goal, by the way. Unbelievable assist. Linking up yet again. Jack and Charlie, lovely touch, lovely finish. And yeah, was the prettiest, but fantastic. Semi-finals, boys. Yeah. They're into it when it went 1-0. Up until then, they're actually alright.
Were you calling him crap when you're knocking around him?
You're so crap.
Someone's going, have a word with them, Brett. You're just knocking the ball around.
Yeah, okay, my man of the match is Charlie Brown. Yeah.
That second goal's going to look so good.
That is the big over the top and then that first touch. Unbelievable.
To be fair, I remember. I've forgotten. Against what happened like the entire match, that is just a standout, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's not many standouts.
There was a quality save at the end. Although it was hit literally full arm out.
No.
Like, you made yourself as small as possible.
No, because it was coming out of the thing. No, but what you got to think is, I saved it.
Yeah.
Goalkeeping for dummies. Make yourself as small as possible.
And hope for striking.
Stage 1.
It works.
Cool.
Have we got? Remember that guy got winded, and we got.
Yeah, the way.
Better than that, we got one where their goalkeeper over here, he come out, did a massive drop kick and it hit the guy in the mud. It's so funny.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
cool.
fantastic.
Well done,
Great
boys.
result, boys. Well done. First time at the pub, so.
First time at the pub.
Third time at the pub. Don't remember in the first
well, you
2
weren't
times.
there, mate, so.
Yeah, you can get out of the way. And that concludes a pretty good week for the Hawks. We're through into the semi-finals of the Cup, which is brilliant news. The aim at the start of the year was always to get some silverware. Looks like maybe we've got a chance of doing that now. My resounding closing thoughts are up the Hawks. Oh my God. Hang on, no. Yeah. You're driving around with that. It's put a little bit of a hole in your bumper.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll drive.
Yeah, drive.
Yeah. No. Cool. Bye. I'm not going up the pub, so see you later. Well played today, mate. It's super. Right, back to where I was. Charles was actually just driving past with like half a tree hanging off the front of his car, so just trying to stop it, put a little bit of a hole in his bumper. Actually, Wyvern brought together a lot of fans to see the famous Horton Hawks. Don't blame them. It's hard for us to get fans to come and watch us every week because we're so impressive and they just get sick of us winning. So it was good for them to all turn up, see the mighty Hawks in action on what really should be our home ground or a stomping ground. Up the Hawks, and up the bloody Hawks.
Fucking hell. Oh, jeez. Oh, can we do it?
Yeah, let's.